How we doing, everybody? Here we are, the video for our fourth week. So what we have on tap this week is we're working on our second essay. That is our descriptive essay, okay? So this will look just like the narrative essay, and how that looks, you could consult the paper format attachment in lessons. Also in SCC, in the narrative section, in the descriptive section, there are student examples, okay? Those are also in MLA format, so you could follow those too for how things should look. Don't forget, you need to do it in a Word or PDF format. I cannot open a Pages file, all right? This will be due by the end of the week, which we're counting roughly from Tuesday to Tuesday. At least for right now. So that's going to be Tuesday, February the 2nd by 11:59 p.m. Don't worry, I will have returned your narrative essays back around to you by then. Look for those, I'd say no later than the weekend, okay? Trying to schedule, trying to proceed with my grading schedule, I should say, this week, just to kind of give you guys a little heads up. So I teach middle school. I'm, in fact, in my middle school classroom right now. So I have 5 classes here. I myself take classes. I'm in school as well. I have a couple classes, and then I have you all as well. So this is all to say, but the turnaround time for assignments, major assignments like papers, essays, that's within a 2-week window. Usually for class and homework assignments is usually within a 1-week window. I have returned, I believe, all of the first weeks, the journals, on the first couple of essays we read. So now I need to do the narrative papers, and then I'll start doing the descriptive unit homework. And on I will go in that fashion, okay? What do you write for your descriptive? Okay, so the SCC work you did last week, and the essays that you read, the E.B. White piece and the Bickman Nguyen piece, Goodbye to My Twinkie Days, Once More to the Lake, the E.B. White piece, those are kind of models to follow. Of course, they're not writing in 1101 MLA format, right? They're professional writers who are kind of writing their accounts in kind of a fiction story format, so there aren't necessarily clean paragraphs, 5 paragraphs like we do, introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. Of course, in a structured 1101 class, we are, being very strict with how things look and how things proceed. So, of course, you do need paragraphs, just like the narrative, an introduction. And an introduction, the best way to start your introduction is with a big idea, like a big concept that you take from your thesis statement, okay? And then your thesis statement, that's really the main sentence of your whole essay. Without your thesis statement, you have nothing. It's like the heartbeat of your essay, okay? A thesis statement expresses an opinion, an observation, an idea, like the central idea, the central observation that you have. So this is descriptive, right? So we're picking a person, place, thing, or idea, and I give you these examples in the announcement this week. A person, say your grandmother. A place, say your hometown. A thing, say your car. Or an idea or concept, say falling in love, okay? So pick what you want to pick, and then you're devoting your writing to making that thing pop off the page. How do you do that? Okay, well, we don't have pictures, all right? So it is vivid descriptive writing, and this is mainly through the use of adjectives, right? So, for example, if I just say I ate an apple, you might want to know, well, what kind of an apple did you eat? Okay, last time you've gone to the grocery store like me, you were bewildered by all the different choices there are for apples. When I was a kid, maybe even when you guys were kids, we had Red Delicious apples and Granny Smith apples. Now there's Fuji apples, there's Gala apples, Pink Lady apples, etc., etc. So as a reader, if I'm reading I ate an apple, I'm like, well, what kind of apple? Describe the apple. Be descriptive. So you could describe that apple in terms of the type that it is. Let's say a Fuji apple, how large or small it is, the precise color. I mean, these are all red apples, but some of them are lighter, some of them are darker, some of them have kind of like splotchy yellow hues in with the predominant red color. Some of them are tart, some of them are sweet. Maybe the texture is a little different. So all these things are different avenues by which we could describe something. Your grandmother, let's say. My dearly departed grandparents, no longer with me, but I love them and miss them dearly to this day. I could describe my grandmother, well, my mom's mom or my dad's mom, whichever one, on a whole variety of things, okay? Physical description, okay? I could describe her by her temperament, her mood, her attitude, how she expressed her love for me, the meal she would cook, let's say, maybe her daily routine, okay? So this is just kind of some food for thought, kind of to get your gears turning here. If you want me to look over your essay, I'm happy to do that. I don't think I really got anybody doing that for their narrative, but if you do want to email me your descriptive draft and say, hey, this is what my draft looks like, what do you think? I'm happy to do that. Now, you guys will see the rubric score from the narrative essays when you get your grade back, and you're graded on 4 criteria. One is content, okay, and they're each 25 points. 25 times 4 is 100. Content, 25 points. This is, are you following the basic rules of the assignment? So for the narrative, are you telling a story? Content, okay? That's the basic thing there, okay? Structure and organization as another category, 2, 25 points, okay? Do you have paragraphs? Are these paragraphs flowing in and out of each other with transition words, transition phrases, okay? Now with a story, we had that table in the narrative unit. Of course, you probably didn't start your story once upon a time, but let's say you said once upon a time, and then the second paragraph you said, and then what happened, or eventually, or after that. Those are transitions. Those are means by which your story kind of trots along, okay, has development, proceeds from one thing to the next in chronological order. We talked about, for description, the exercises you did last week. You could describe things. Let's say you're describing your house. You could go from room to room, okay? First, you could describe, let's say, the entryway, the foyer. Then maybe take your reader on a tour of your house through the living room, let's say, the family room. Maybe go straight to the kitchen, okay? So you could organize your essay, if you're describing your house, room by room. Each paragraph is a room, okay? That's a way to structure it. So content, structure, also style and language, okay? So really what this means is grammar and mechanics, okay? Are apostrophes where they go if you're doing a contraction or showing possession? Do you have periods at the end of sentences? Do you start your sentences with a capital letter? When you use the pronoun I, are you capitalizing the pronoun I? These are things I have to tell middle school, as you might imagine. Hopefully you guys have a firmer hold on this. We shall see. Style, you're writing an academic paper, right? It's a professional paper. I mean, it could have humor, of course. It could have color and playfulness to a degree. Of course, we don't want like bad language, potty language, overuse of slang, stuff like that. And then the fourth and final thing is format, okay? That is, are you following the MLA format? Do you have a heading in the upper left-hand corner? Your name, my name, the course, the date, okay? Upper right-hand, each page, your last name, the page number, and then centered in the middle, the title of the paper. And it's not narrative essay or descriptive essay. You're giving original creative titles to each of your essays, okay? So if you've done all that, 12-point Times New Roman font, double-spaced, it's the appropriate length, about 2-3 pages max. You could expect to get close to top marks on your content. So to recap, the rubric is, format, I should say. To recap, the 4 criteria: content, that's following the basic directions. You're writing a narrative essay, you're writing a descriptive essay, okay? You have a thesis statement, okay, all that stuff. 2, structure, organization. You have paragraphs that have transitions, interlinking them. Each paragraph is about something. 3, style and language, minding your grammar, mechanics rules, keeping in mind that it is a academic professional essay, your style or your language is appropriate. 4, finally, as we said, your format, you are sticking to the MLA rules, okay? And that's going to be for every major essay that we write in here, okay? So when you get your papers back, your narratives, I'm not necessarily going to go sentence by sentence and comment on every little thing that I find. I'm going through and I'm seeing what stands out to me and what's not there, what looks wrong. That's my first pass through, okay? So if it's cuckoo crazy format-wise, if it's not an MLA, that's going to trigger me and I'm going to say, oh, we don't have top score for our format, that's for sure, okay? Just to give you an example there. I will offer you a few comments on your papers, okay, and maybe sometimes an overall comment with your rubric score. So look for that by the weekend for your narratives, okay? Your descriptive essay, as we have been saying, is due on or by next Tuesday night. You're describing a person, place, thing, or idea, not necessarily telling a story. You're just painting a vivid word picture using descriptive language, okay? Additionally, due by Sunday, so a few days before the descriptive, is your second journal. The journal asks you to kind of reflect on the nature of descriptive writing, and I've already responded to a student's journal this afternoon, so waiting for the rest of you to get in there. But the journal this week is about what are the pros and cons of using descriptive language in a piece of writing, okay? When I was younger, I remember I had to read The Great Gatsby. I think I was a freshman in high school. And just like anything that was assigned to me to read, I didn't want to read it. I kind of, rejected it outright. Oh, this boring novel. What a drag, how lame, I don't want to have to read this. Of course, now that I'm older and I appreciate literature much more, I get pleasure from reading these things. When I was 14 years old, not so much, okay? But one thing I remember with The Great Gatsby, I remember telling my mother's friend at the time, I remember describing to him, oh, The Great Gatsby, it's boring. And he said to me, yeah, it's because Fitzgerald, the author, F. Scott Fitzgerald, is tedious in his descriptors. He just goes on describing things, okay? Now, I don't frankly agree with that, 20 years later. But at the time, yeah, I kind of got what he was saying. It was like, it's a tedious slog of a read, right? And make sure yours isn't like that. So you want nice, crisp descriptions. Don't overdo it, okay? So just kind of contemplate, reflect on that idea of well-placed descriptions in your writing, okay? That journal is going to be due by Sunday, all right? That is the 31st. Journal due Sunday, second paper due a couple days later, Tuesday, okay? Fini, that is it. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Any questions, comments, concerns, you guys are always free to email me. And I will see you again with the new video this time next week. See you then. Peace.